All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the classical period discussion number 5, Haydn, Mozart, and Beethoven. We'll be discussing these famous composers in a little bit more specifically. At the end of the assignment, you're specifically going to choose one and learn about them. One of these videos that I've provided you, and then you're going to talk about it. I'll talk about that a little bit later, though. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Couple things. I'd like you to read this article. There'll be other things to read while I go down here, but basically read everything on the page and kind of before you get to the ending, kind of get a taste of everything that I've supplied you as far as the videos go. Because now, look, some of them are very long. I realize 55 minutes, but choose which one you might want to talk about. Okay, so go ahead and listen through all these. Remember, this is something that I'll say over the microphone. Remember that Haydn was a mentor and teacher to both Mozart and Beethoven. So as you're reading these articles and learning more about these individuals, you just keep that in mind, okay? While listening to each of these examples, read this link to learn more about each composition and recording. Be sure to make a mental note of which recordings you like the most so you can choose for the assignment at the bottom of the page. Okay, so we're going to talk about Haydn and specifically two pieces, the surprise and the joke. And here's two performances of them, and they both have read thises, so read those. Mozart, the First Symphony and his 40th Symphony. So check out both of those and kind of, get a little taste of each of them. And also the Requiem is a possibility. So then when you get down here, then we're going to talk about Beethoven. And here are the two possibilities of that you can choose. This one you cannot choose. I will mention that. Lachrymose you cannot choose. You either have to do the Requiem or that's it. As far as Mozart, you can do either number 1, number 40, or this. This is just a little taste of it, so you can kind of get an idea of what it is. So, all right. So the assignment. There's going to be two parts. One is you're going to be your post, and then your response. So in your post, I want you to pick one of the above recordings, okay? And then I want you to listen carefully and critically to the music with no distraction. Read the paired link to your chosen recording carefully and thoroughly. So, in other words, Beethoven String Quartet number 4 in C minor. Look, there's a read this here, so make sure you read that if you choose this one, okay? Write a summary of the piece. What is the history of the composition? What makes it well known or important? Was the piece innovative? How? What was the composer's inspiration for writing the piece? 2 paragraphs. All right? Next, we're still on the post, so you do 4 paragraphs on your post. Next, describe how the recording makes you feel. What was the kind of mood? What kind of mood does the music put you in? Does it change? Where in the music? What part of the composition is your favorite? Why? Can you locate the climax point? This is a big one, so make sure you find that. And then if you need to know what that means, you can click on that. Does the music create a nostalgic feeling for you? Check that out. 2 paragraphs. So that's 4 paragraphs in your original post, your description post. All right, part 2, respond. So I want you to pick a different composition from above by a different composer. That's important. Different composition recording written by a different composer from your original post. In other words, if you did Mozart, you must reply with either Haydn or Beethoven composition from above, okay? Okay. Read the attached link as you did in the other side, and then compare and contrast the qualities and characteristics of your response composer music with your peers' original posted. So, in other words, say you posted with Mozart. So you're up here, you posted in Mozart. You had a Mozart example. Down here, you would have to do either Haydn or Beethoven. But you would respond to somebody. Just respond to anybody that doesn't have either of those. So, in other words, if somebody did Mozart, you'd have to do Haydn. Make sure that you respond to somebody that has Haydn or Beethoven. If they have Haydn, then you respond with Beethoven or Mozart. If they have Beethoven, you respond with either Haydn or Mozart. Okay, I think that makes sense. Okay, so compare and contrast these things. What qualities do they share? What qualities are specific to the individual composer? Okay, so what do they share together and what's individual? What is their own thing? Here's some things to consider: form, dynamics, mood, texture, important historical events, rhythm, melody, harmony, composition, influence, and inspiration. 2 paragraphs here. So, in other words, here's your checklist. Post a summary with 2 paragraphs and a description of that summary, 2 paragraphs. In your peer response, and compare and contrast between the 2 different composers. Okay, so I want you to do a 2-paragraph compare and contrast of the composers. I'm looking forward to seeing your responses. Guys, have a great one. This music's really, really, really great. And I'm looking forward to reading the discussion points. Okay.